Hi, I'm Lizzie B. Love, and today is day 5 of 30 days to my leap of faith. And quite honestly, I have to say, I'm terrified. Today was a pretty good day. I mean, I got to relax, I did some work, I went on a really long walk, hike in beautiful redwoods that I live nearby. I spent some time at a cafe in the city, which I love doing. Just went and read a magazine and got some recipe ideas for yummy, healthy, whole food recipes, and then hung out with some friends. And I am terrified. Today was just, I have a lot of emotions and I'm not exactly sure what to do with them all. And I am really having, I guess, this experience of holy crap, this is actually happening. And in doing that and thinking that, a lot, kind of like what I was talking about last night, just a lot of self-criticism is coming up, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of why couldn't I make it work here? Blah, why am I having to move? Why am I doing this? It's like all of the ego stuff is coming up. And I know enough to know that it's the ego, and I know enough to know that it's just fear coming up because I'm doing something. I'm actually doing something about it. I'm taking this leap of faith. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy. In fact, I think a lot of times we don't take leaps of faith, or I didn't take a leap of faith because I knew it would be hard. I knew it would be hard for a short period of time, and eventually, it's just like growing pains. It's going to be hard to grow into this next stage of my life. That means I need to be more mature in certain ways. I need to take responsibility for myself in certain ways, and I can't get away with certain things because I can't get away with it anymore because it's not serving me. It doesn't allow me to go to the next level that I want to go to, and it's uncomfortable, and it's really, really uncomfortable. And I'm having a lot of fear around, like, what if this isn't the right decision? What if I'm meant to stay here? Which then is just like this endless loop of stuff. But in the way that I'm dealing with it is by being with it. I'm really working to not make it wrong, to not be, submerged by the tidal wave of self-doubt, of questioning myself. I'm really trying to just allow it to be part of the process. And doing this whole video series is actually really helping me because it's forcing me to pay attention to what's going on so that I can talk about it, in these videos. And actually, I wanted to mention something, kind of this whole idea of how our emotions and our experiences really do shift and change with time. Like, there's never an emotion that you've had consistently for your entire life. Like, you've been happy, you've been sad, you've been tired, you've been, not that that's an emotion, but you know what I mean? Like, you've been different things. You've been angry, you've been vengeful even, but you've also been forgiving and loving. And we are all of these things. And I think a lot of times in our culture, an emotional landscape, like a healthy emotional landscape, goes by the wayside. We're not really taught how to do that in school. We're not taught how to do that by our friends, our families, most of the time. And I think it's really important, especially for those of us who are very emotional people, very sensitive. It's not just women, it's not just this female thing. It really is. I think a lot of people, I know a lot of men feel stifled because they don't feel like they're allowed to have their emotions. And I'm all about helping everyone have their emotions and process them. Like, I've even dated somebody from Brazil who cried all the time because where he's from, that's totally acceptable. And if you watch the movie Eat, Pray, Love, that guy cries. He's Brazilian. Like, they're just very passionate. They're very transparent, is what my ex would say. And he would get frustrated because I wouldn't be like that. I was a woman and I wouldn't be as emotional as he was because I'm not used to that because our culture is not really like that. So there's a level to just like transparency and just being with your emotion that I'm really having to pay attention to, because I think that's a big part of my leap of faith as well, is having the emotional ability and strength to follow through with my dreams and to not crumble when the going gets tough. And even on the way home, I was reminded of Katy Perry, and I've talked about her in another video that I've done just in the past, not one of these, the Leap of Faith videos. But if anybody has watched Katy Perry's movie, it's amazing. The title of it, of course, is escaping me right now, but it's an incredible kind of, I guess, just story of pursuing your dream. And for 5 years, Katy Perry wasn't able to publish her music or put herself out there the way she wanted to, so she just didn't do anything because she didn't want to be fake. And then finally, after 5 years, she got a break, she went out there, and then, all of a sudden she's this big, huge superstar. So it's just a story of perseverance. It's a story of keeping the faith. It's a story of keeping on going and staying true to yourself. My housemate was just telling me basically the same thing, like, all you can do is be where your feet are and make sure that you're true to yourself. And so that's a big part of what this Leap of Faith is about. And this morning, the Hay House World Summit is coming out. And that's something that happened last year. This will be the second annual World Summit. And I highly recommend signing up for it. I think just Google Hay House World Summit and 2014. And it's this week-long event of free speakers every day. You get a list of like 10 people that you can listen to recordings of them talk, and it's incredible. Like, it's just an amazing wealth of information. And I signed up for it, and in that there's a couple promotional videos, and there's this one by Iyanla Vanzant, who's like one of my new favorite authors and speakers. She's so funny. So I watched this thing where she was talking about, I think it's called Holiness to the Rescue, or like something like that. And it really spoke to me this morning because it's talking about believing in that divine spark that I've talked about in these videos. Believing in yourself so much that you can have leaps of faith, that you can grow, that you can move forward because you're allowing the divine in you, which she calls the holiness, to come through and to listen to that. And so I want to read some of what, she was saying because it was so powerful for me. It's just powerful words, and I just love her so much. It really, really helps, especially with the self-doubt that I've been having with, just being in recovery for something. If any of you out there in recovery for anything, you understand like how this is, like tapping into higher power, like all that stuff. So this is what she was talking about this morning. She says, when we confuse our experience, like our life experience, as a product of our identity, we lose touch with our holiness. When we become more convinced that what people say to us has more power than what God has given to us, we lose touch with our holiness. When we become addicted and attracted and attached to what our eyes and our ears and our physical beings bring to us, we lose touch with our holiness. So holiness to the rescue. So, and really, what is your holiness? Well, when you become willing to stand in your holiness, whether you believe it or not, whether you feel it or not, or if you just make the commitment to know that it is there, and when you begin to stand in your holiness, you override all the laws and the conditions and the circumstances and the situations in the world. Holiness to the rescue. There is nothing that your holiness cannot do. And this is where she starts saying, like, what is it? Well, it's the spark of divinity within you that says, no matter what, you'll be okay. No matter what, you will be okay. Your holiness is that yearning, that desire when you, within you, to be more. Hard time reading my writing. It's that desire within you to be more, to do more, to have more, and to share more from a place of love rather than obligation. It asks you why you did something that wasn't nice, like why did you think that thing that's not nice? Your holiness is that voice that asks you, that questions to you, it speaks to you. It says, it's telling you to leave that job, to write that book, or to not marry that person. And your holiness, if you think back, she says to think back to all the times that you broke up with someone, that you had a challenge, that you lost a job, that you, whatever your challenge was, your holiness had walked you through all of those losses. And God gave us our holiness to remember that we are connected to our source, to our inner source. And this world that we live in, the jobs we go to, the people that we see, this world, this outer world, it takes us away. It takes us out of this remembering. And it teaches us, the world does not teach us how to be, it teaches us how to do. And that is something really powerful, because today it was a good reminder for me that my worth is not in my bank account. My worth is not in the way that I look. My worth is not based on the relationships I have in my life. My worth is not the number of clients I have. My worth is inherent in who I am, which is a God-given right to be worthy, to be deserving, and to be incredibly amazing exactly the way I am. And it's the same for you. Regardless of who you are, what you're doing, who you're with, how much money you have, how much money you don't have, you are a worthy and deserving human being, totally and completely able to be happy and to be filled with joy and happiness at every moment. Even if you're sad and going through stuff, you still deserve to be happy. And that's what this was telling me, was like, when we believe that, when we remember that, we're in our holiness. And when we're in our holiness, we're capable of anything. And that's what the Leap of Faith is all about. That's what the Leap of Faith is teaching me. And hopefully by watching these videos, it's what the Leap of Faith is teaching you. Is that by being in your holiness, you're being holy. You are being your highest self, and you're allowing your greatest happiness into your life. And when we have doubts, when we have fears, when we look around in the world and there's absolutely zero sign, and that's how I ended the video last night, was like, I had zero reason to believe in my leap of faith. Especially at that moment, if I have faith in myself, I am in my holiness. And when I'm in my holiness, when I'm connected to my divine spark, incredible miracles happen. And tonight even, I met somebody, this awesome woman, who's now probably a new friend, and she has traveled to Southeast Asia extensively like me. She has a lot of the same values, the same ideas, the same kind of opinions about the world, like we just seem like kindred spirits. And I'm very, very lucky and grateful to have experienced that. And if I wasn't in my holiness, I wouldn't have experienced that. And on my walk today, I took this 2.5-hour beautiful walk through the woods. I wouldn't have been able to experience that if I wasn't in my holiness, So it's like, where can you be in that divinity in you? Where can you believe in yourself so much that you do not believe what other people say? Whether you happen to be gay, lesbian, transgender, any kind of ethnicity, male, female, somewhere in between, rich, poor, like American, French, like it doesn't matter. Like, you are amazing, and you are totally right where you're supposed to be, and you can accomplish your goals and your dreams. All you have to do is just really believe in yourself. So this is me believing in myself, or learning to anyway. It's not easy. I'm constantly asking people for help, which I never ever really thought I would be able to. And I'm making these videos documenting this whole thing. And I was able to come make this video not feeling super amped and super happy and super excited about everything, but I'm being real. And that to me is amazing. That to me is recovery. That to me is living my life and accomplishing my goals, is by being authentic to myself and sharing that with the world from a sense of love. She says, I am like, this is my yearning to be more, to do more, to have more, to share more, from a place of love, not from a place of obligation. I do not feel obligated to do these. I feel excited to do these because I get to share this beautiful process with you. And it's from a place of love. It really, truly is. And to me, that's what gets me through each day. So maybe this has a message for you. And if it does, great. And if not, keep tuning in. Maybe another day will. But I love you all. Send you many, many angel blessings. And I really hope that you can all connect with me. My information's all below or navigate to YouTube and look at the description of the video, and you'll get all the information of ways to contact me to share your story of leaps of faith, or even what's scaring you, like why you're afraid of your own leap of faith, whatever it is. But we're all in this together. And I look forward to hearing from you, and have a good night.